play enough D&D, you're sure to get a Sphere of Annihilation story. And boy, do I have one. You see, this is from my most recent game in my Simville campaign. My party is level 11 at the start of this session, and they are heading into the Tower of Zeresh. The reason they're going there is they're looking for the body of one of their villains, whom died and lost their card to the deck of many things within that tower. They wish to retrieve it. See this video for more information on that. And they make their way through the tower relatively easily, though without tripping a few traps and whatnot. The tower itself, 5 levels, each a single floor, single room, and they're a puzzle of some kind. The first one was just merely looking for traps, which the party failed. The second one was a room filled with walls of light that you could undo via a prism or by dispelling the magic or by doing the opposite of what the wall of light clarified. Or you could bypass it with teleportation, as my party did somewhat, which was just amazing. I love how creative they get. But the fourth floor, the final floor before the top, was the one that was difficult. Why, you may ask? Simple. The room itself was this, and as you can see, it's simple. There are 2 thick walls that are 5 feet thick. They kind of occupy the center of the room. There's a statue in the middle, and on the wall is a dragon's head. There are 2 doors, one in the bottom left, one in the upper right, and it seems relatively simple. And that's because it is. To enter the room, the inside of the first door at the bottom left is an image of a gnome holding up his hand. It's Zeresh, the maker of the tower, here. And on the other wall, on the other door, there is the same image, except the gnome's arm from the hand down is gone, but the stump is raised. Now, why is that? Simple. Zeresh was a trickster, and the promise of the tower was that once you reached the top, you would get something your heart desired. At least when Zeresh was alive, but that's a plot twist for a different day. And the party made their way through, including fighting the roper, who is supposed to be there to stall for the timer to shut the doors behind the party so they have to take the alternate way out. Well, what's the alternate way out, I may ask you? The dragon's mouth. Essentially, there was a hint written on the wall. Match my pose to enter the room. Move swiftly or face your doom. To exit, the dragon's mouth is a key, but beware, it's not what it may seem. Something along those lines. And with the image of the gnome without his arm, and the fact that the dragon's mouth was closed when the party passed it, I thought, it's fine. They just made their way through. The door was open because they made through the room in time. Everything's okay. Except one of my players decided to make their way back down the tower upon reaching the top, where they met the elf Zeta as opposed to Zeresh. Totally different story. Zeresh died years ago, but Zeta was a friend of his and is using the tower as a study. She just doesn't disable the traps because she can teleport to the top. They found their card as well, but back to the story here. Our fighter, Overhead Breeze, made his way down back to the 3rd floor. Inside that room, he was just pondering, and he went to the dragon's mouth thinking about the poem that led them in, and he opened it. What I described was a sphere of blackness that bent all light that came around it. So he took an invisible magnifying glass, which was a tool for an earlier puzzle that allowed one to see the invisible glyphs on the wall that triggered traps, stuck it in, and then let it go. As he did that, I described that the front end of the magnifying glass clipped off and it hit the ground at his feet, tinging. That drove his curiosity. And so he decided, what else can I stick in? I stick my head in. Now, mind you, the dragon's mouth wasn't broad enough for his entire body, but I thought I gave him enough clues. So I asked him if he was sure, and he was. So Breeze stuck his head in and decapitated himself. As you know, a Sphere of Annihilation, or if you don't, a Sphere of Annihilation destroys all matter that passes through it. So he stuck his head in and dropped. Fortunately, the party has this kind of telekinetic link with each other thanks to our hag spawn druid, so immediately there was this static over the line before Breeze went silent. And that triggered the party that was upstairs still talking to Zeta to make their way down, where they found his body. Look, high-level D&D comes with risks, And I don't always recommend this, but maybe reevaluate your traps and explain things better. This is a learning lesson from your boy Dan. However, Breeze's player was phenomenal, and he just took it on the chin and was making a new character while they were discussing reviving his own. I apologized to him after the game, and we've a good friendship, a good relationship as a party, and just knowing each other for 10 years now. I'm getting old. And he just said, no, it's fine. It's what the dungeon was designed to do. Your warning was there. I just didn't listen. It's all good. And he made a new character who was debuting in our session on Sunday, and I am kind of excited. Level 12 now. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a good day. And remember, high-level D&D is fun, but sometimes you have to walk back your expectations. Take it easy.